Good Friday evening, my friends. My name is Melissa from Melissa's Struggling Walk with Jesus. You can also email me at melissastrugglingwalkwithjesus@gmail.com. I am sharing the Word of God with you from the Amplified Holy Bible and the Navigator's Bible Reading Plan. I am on month 2, reading 22D, and I'll be reading to you Leviticus chapter 18 through 20 today. And so, I'm about to Deuteronomy, and I need Leviticus. I'm glad I caught that. I thought I was already, guys. Boy, was I wrong. It's been a long day. All right. So, Leviticus chapter 18 is on laws on immoral relations. And it says, Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, I am the Lord your God. You shall not do what is done in the land of Egypt, where you lived, and you shall not do what is done in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you. You shall not follow their statutes, practices, or customs. You are to follow my judgments, precepts, and ordinances, and keep my statutes and live by them. I am the Lord your God. So you shall keep my statutes and my judgments, by which, if a person keeps them, he shall live. I am the Lord. Check out Luke chapter 10, verses 25 through 28, Romans chapter 10, verses 4 and 5, and Galatians chapter 3, verse 12. Verse 6. No one shall approach any blood relative of his to uncover nakedness, have intimate relations. I am the Lord. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father, that is, the nakedness of your mother. She is your mother. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's wife. It is your father's nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your sister, either the daughter of your father or of your mother, whether born at home or born elsewhere. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter. Their nakedness you shall not uncover, for they are your own nakedness, that is, your own descendants. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's wife's daughter born to your father. She is your sister. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister. She is your father's blood relative. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, for she is your mother's blood relative. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother's wife. You shall not approach his wife. She is your aunt. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law. She is your son's wife. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. It is your brother's nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, nor shall you take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover their nakedness, which means have intimate relations with them. They are her blood relatives, and it is an outrageous offense. You shall not marry a woman in addition to her sister as a rival while she is alive, to uncover her nakedness. Also, you shall not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness during her menstrual impurity and ceremonial uncleanness. You shall not have intimate relations with your neighbor's wife to be defiled with her. You shall not give any of your children to offer them by fire as a sacrifice to Molech, the god of the Ammonites. Nor shall you profane the name of your God by honoring idols as gods. I am the Lord. You shall not lie intimately with a male as one lies with a female. It is repulsive. Check out 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 9 and 10. Verse 23. You shall not have intimate relations with any animal to be defiled with it. Nor shall a woman stand before an animal to mate with it. It is a perversion. Do not defile yourselves by any of these things. For by all these the nations which I am casting out before you have become defiled. For the land has become defiled. Therefore I have brought its punishment upon it, and the land vomits out its inhabitants. But as for you, you are to keep my statutes and my judgments, my precepts, and shall not commit any of these repulsive acts, neither the native born nor the stranger who lives temporarily among you. For all these repulsive acts have been done by the men who lived in the land before you, and the land has become defiled. Do none of these things, so that the land will not vomit you out. Should you defile it, as it has vomited out the nation which has been before you. For whoever commits any of these repulsive acts, those persons who do so shall be cut off from among their people, excluding them from the atonement made for them. So keep my command. Do not practice any of the repulsive customs which have been practiced before you, so as not to defile yourselves by them. I am the Lord your God. So that is all of Leviticus chapter 18. All right, verse 6 says, no one shall approach any blood relative of his to uncover nakedness, have intimate relations. I am the Lord. Where it says no one, the passages in verses 6 through 18 states incestuous prohibitions. Also in verse 6, where it says to uncover nakedness, this Hebrew euphemism for sexual relations occurs in each of the verses in this passage. All right, verse 7 says, you shall not uncover the nakedness of your father. That is, the nakedness of your mother. She is your mother. You shall not uncover her nakedness. Where it says nakedness of your father. So the father's nakedness is a reference to his wife in her role as his sexual partner. For example, the nakedness that belongs to him alone by virtue of their marriage. Check out 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 4. Otherwise, the literal meaning would refer to intimate relations with the father himself, including homosexuality. The text itself states that this is not the meaning, especially in chapter 20, verse 11a, where it says, the man who lies has uncovered his father's nakedness. All right, so that is all the extra in Leviticus chapter 18. We will move on to chapter 19. The title is Idolatry Forbidden. And it says, Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Say to all the congregation of the children of Israel, You shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. Check out 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 15. Verse 3. Each of you shall respect his mother and his father, and you shall keep my Sabbaths. I am the Lord your God. Do not turn to idols, or make for yourselves molten gods, images cast in metal. I am the Lord your God. Now when you offer a sacrifice of peace offerings to the Lord, you shall offer it so that you may be accepted. It shall be eaten the same day you offer it, and on the day following. And if anything remains until the third day, it shall be burned in the fire. But if it is eaten at all on the third day, it is repulsive. It will not be accepted by God as an offering. Everyone who eats it will bear the responsibility for his wickedness. For he has profaned a holy thing of the Lord, and that person shall be cut off from his people, excluding him from the atonement made for him. All right, Leviticus chapter 19, starting with verse 9, it says various laws. And it says, Now when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not reap to the very corners of your field, nor shall you gather the gleanings, the grain left after the reaping of your harvest. And you shall not glean your vineyard, nor shall you gather its fallen grapes. You shall leave them there for the poor and for the stranger. I am the Lord your God. You shall not steal, nor deal deceptively, nor lie to one another. Check out Colossians chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. Verse 12. You shall not swear an oath falsely by my name, so as to profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. You shall not oppress or exploit your neighbor, nor rob him. You shall not withhold the wages of a hired man overnight until morning. You shall not curse a deaf man, nor put a stumbling block before the blind. But you shall fear your God with profound reverence. I am the Lord. You shall not do injustice in judgment. You shall not be partial to the poor, nor show a preference for the great, but judge your neighbor fairly. You shall not go around as a gossip among your people. And you are not to act against the life of your neighbor with slander or false testimony. I am the Lord. You shall not hate your brother in your heart. You may most certainly rebuke your neighbor, but shall not incur sin because of him. Check out Galatians chapter 6, verse 1. 1 John chapter 2, verses 9 and 11. 1 John chapter 3, verse 15. Verse 18. Now, you shall not take revenge nor bear any grudge against the sons of your people, but you shall love your neighbor, acquaintance, associate, and companion as yourself. I am the Lord. Check out Matthew chapter 5, verses 43 to 46, and Romans chapter 12, verses 17 and 19. Verse 19. You are to keep my statutes. You shall not breed together two kinds of your cattle. You shall not sow your field with two kinds of seed, nor wear clothing of two kinds of material mixed together. Now, if a man has intimate relations with a woman who is a slave acquired for marriage to another man, but who has not been redeemed nor given her freedom, there shall be punishment after an investigation. They shall not be put to death, because she was not free. But he shall bring his guilt offering to the Lord to the doorway of the tent of meeting, a ram as a guilt offering. The priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the guilt offering before the Lord for his sin which he has committed, and he shall be forgiven for his sin. And when you enter the land and plant all kinds of trees for food, then you shall consider their fruit forbidden. For 3 years the fruit shall be For 3 years the fruit shall be forbidden to you. It shall not be eaten. In the 4th year all the fruit shall be holy, an offering of praise to the Lord. In the 5th year you may eat the fruit of the trees. That is so that their yield may increase for you. I am the Lord your God. You shall not eat anything with the blood, nor practice divination using omens or witchcraft or soothsaying. You shall not trim and round off the side growth of the hair on your heads, nor mar the edges of your beard. You shall not make any cuts on your body in mourning for the dead, nor make any tattoo marks on yourselves. I am the Lord. Do not profane your daughter by making her a prostitute, so that the land will not fall to prostitution and become full of wickedness. You shall keep my Sabbaths and revere my sanctuary. I am the Lord. Do not turn to mediums who pretend to consult the dead, or to spiritists who have spirits of divination. Do not seek them out to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. You shall rise before the gray-headed and honor the aged, and you shall fear your God with profound reverence. I am the Lord. Now when a stranger resides with you in your land, you shall not oppress or mistreat him. But the stranger who resides with you shall be to you like someone native born among you. And you shall love him as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. You shall do no wrong in judgment, in measurement of weight or quantity. You shall have just and accurate balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. You shall observe and keep my statutes and all my ordinances, and do them. I am the Lord. All right, that is all of Leviticus chapter 19. All right, verse 3 says, each of you shall respect his mother and his father, and you shall keep my Sabbaths. I am the Lord your God. Where it says respect his mother and his father. Literature that says fear, and the Hebrew can refer to respect or reverence as essentially healthy forms of fear. All right, verse 23 says, when you enter the land and plant all kinds of trees for food, then you shall consider their fruit forbidden. For 3 years the fruit shall be forbidden to you. It shall not be eaten. Where it says forbidden, other literature has the word uncircumcised there. Verse 36 says, you shall have just and accurate balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Where it says hin, That is approximately 1 gallon. All right, so that is all Leviticus chapter 19. I am moving on to Leviticus chapter 20. And this is on human sacrifices and immoralities. And it says, Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Moreover, you shall say to the children of Israel, Any Israelite or any stranger residing in Israel, who gives any of his children to Moloch, the god of the Ammonites, as a human sacrifice, shall most certainly be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. I will also set my face against that man, opposing him, withdrawing my protection from him, and will cut him off from his people, excluding him from the atonement made for them, because he has given some of his children to Moloch, so as to defile my sanctuary and profane my holy name. Now, if the people of the land should ever tolerate that man, when he gives any of his children as a burnt offering to Moloch, and fail to put him to death as my law requires, then I shall set my face against that man and against his extended family. And I will cut off from their people both him and all who follow him in playing the prostitute, commit apostasy with Moloch. As for the person who turns to mediums, who consult the dead, or to spiritists, to play the prostitute after them, I shall set my face against that person, and will cut him off from his people, excluding him from the atonement made for them. Check out Isaiah chapter 54, verse 5. Now, verse 7. You shall consecrate yourselves, therefore, and be holy, for I am the Lord your God. You shall keep my statutes and do them. I am the Lord who sanctifies you. If anyone curses his father or mother, he shall most certainly be put to death. He has cursed his father or mother, his blood is on him. That is, he bears full responsibility for the consequences. The man who commits adultery with another's wife, even his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress, shall most certainly be put to death. Check out John chapter 8, verses 4 through 11. Verse 11. The man who lies intimately with his father's wife has uncovered his father's nakedness, and both of them shall most certainly be put to death. Their blood is on them. And if a man lies intimately with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall most certainly be put to death. They have committed incest, and their blood is on them. If a man lies intimately with a male as if he were a woman, both men have committed a detestable, perverse, unnatural act, and they shall most certainly be put to death, and their blood is on them. It is immoral and shameful if a man marries a woman and her mother. All three shall be burned in a fire, so that there will be no immorality among you. Check out Joshua chapter 7, verses 15 and 25. Verse 15. If a man has intimate relations with an animal, he shall most certainly be put to death. You shall kill the animal also. If a woman approaches any animal to mate with it, you shall kill the woman and the animal. They shall most certainly be put to death. Their blood is on them. If a man takes his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, so that he sees her nakedness, and she sees his nakedness, it is a disgrace, and they shall be cut off in the sight of the sons of their people. He has uncovered his sister's nakedness, and he bears responsibility for his guilt. If a man lies intimately with a woman during her menstrual cycle and uncovers her nakedness, he has exposed her flow, and she has uncovered the flow of her blood. both of them shall be cut off from their people, excluding them from the atonement made for them. You shall not uncover the nakedness of, or have intimate relations with your mother's sister or your father's sister, for such a one has uncovered his blood relative, and they will bear their guilt. If there is a man who lies intimately with his uncle's wife, he has uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They will bear their sin, and they will die childless. If a man takes his brother's wife, it is a hated and unclean thing. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness, and they will be childless. Therefore keep all my statutes and all my ordinances, and do them, so that the land where I am bringing you to live may not vomit you out, as it did those before you. Check out Leviticus chapter 18, verse 28, verse 23 now. You shall not follow the statutes, laws, practices, and customs of the nations which I am driving out before you. For they did all these things, and therefore I have loathed them. But I have said to you, you are to inherit and take possession of their land. For I will give it to you to possess, a land of plenty, flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who has separated you from the peoples, the pagan nations. You are therefore to make a distinction between the ceremonially clean animals and the unclean, and between the unclean bird and the clean. And you shall not make yourselves detestable by animal or by bird, or by anything that crawls on the ground, which I have set apart from you as unclean. You are to be holy to me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have set you apart from the peoples and nations to be mine. A man or woman who is a medium, who pretends to consult the dead, or who is a spiritist shall most certainly be put to death, and be stoned with stones. Their blood is on them. All right. So verse 5 says, Then I shall set my face against the man and against his extended family, and I will cut off from their people both him and all who follow him in playing the prostitute, commit apostasy with Moloch, where it says playing the prostitute. For example, abandon the true God for an idol. Verse 24 says, But I have said to you, you are to inherit and take possession of their land, and I will give it to you to possess, a land of plenty flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who has separated you from the peoples, the pagan nations, where it says flowing with milk and honey. This phrase referred to the abundant fertility of the land of Canaan. Milk, typically that of goats and sheep, was associated with abundance, and honey referred mainly to syrups made from dates or grapes, and was the epitome of sweetness. Bees' honey was very rare and was considered the choicest of foods. All right, guys, that is all of month 2, chapter 20, or reading 22. I have now shared with you Matthew, Acts, Psalms, and Leviticus through reading 22. I want to thank you for listening to Melissa's Struggling Walk with Jesus. And again, my name is Melissa, and you can also email me at melissasstrugglingwalkwithjesus@gmail.com if you want to converse. I hope each and every one of you have a good Friday evening. Have a good day.